Hi lads and lasses, welcome to Darts Coaching with Dynamite Dave. As you can see, we're nowhere near the dartboard, so today's subject is part of the mental side of the game. It's something that I did say that I wanted to speak to you about on several occasions through different videos, and I've had quite a lot of people asking me about breathing, about how you calm yourself down, basically how I do it. Obviously, again, with everything that I say, it's subjective, it's entirely up to yourself, and it all depends on your own, whether you're prepared to do the exercises and believe in the exercises, because that's the way that they work. It's a bit like, I suppose, hypnosis. I always thought that was the biggest load of rubbish that had ever come to the face of the earth. I thought, because I'm quite a sceptical person, me, on the QT, but I was absolutely sceptical about this. Went on holiday, thought it was a load of rubbish. I thought, yeah, I'll take part in that. There's no way they're going to be able to influence me. Well, I can tell you right now, it does work. It does work. And I thought, there's no way they'd ever be able to hypnotise me. And I watched the video back that my wife took, and it was absolutely hilarious. They had me with an handbag and all sorts of stuff. Anyway, moving on from that. Right, so basically, this is about breathing techniques. It's something that Phil Taylor's talked about in the past, and he spoke on a video saying about how to relax between throws, how to drive your anxiety down, basically how to calm yourself down, ready for the next visit to the board. Now, it's very important that you're capable of suppressing your anxiety right from word zero. Basically, from when you get up the morning of the you're going to be nervous and all this, that, and the other. You're not going to be able to sleep the night before a big tournament or out like that. I sleep like a baby every night. My wife and everybody else that knows me will absolutely tell you it takes me between 5 and 15 seconds to go to sleep at night time. If it takes me 30 seconds to go to sleep, it's a bad night. It is a bad night. But that is all because I have the mental capacity to empty my mind and to empty my body of all the things that have gone on during the day. But this is something that I've learned, and when I learned it is when I was a young lad. When I was a young lad, about, how old was I? I must have been 16 or 17, something like that. I went and started doing martial arts, and I was very, very lucky and very, very privileged to actually go to a martial arts centre where the chap who was running it, called Sensei Wilf Pierce, I'll never forget him ever, and he must have been 60 odd then, and he'd actually done time in Shaolin temples and what have you, and he had just an ethereal calmness about him. He was absolutely unbelievable. And we went to these, I know I'm digressing a bit, which is what I always do. We went to these martial arts exhibitions and what have you, and even though he must have been, he would never tell you how old he was, but looking at him, he looked about 65, 70, so he could have been even north of that at the time. And we used to go to these exhibitions in Liverpool where all the top 4th, 5th and 6th dan black belts were, and not a one of them could lay a finger on him. He used to have 3 and 4 of them coming at him at his age, and not a one of them could lay a finger on him. And I know a lot of this on videos is staged and what have you, but what I went to see wasn't staged, it was live. And the techniques that I'm going to teach you and what I'm going to talk to you about are all what came from him. So I'm going to do this probably in 2 or possibly 3 videos, because otherwise it's going to last 45 minutes, an hour probably. So rather than it dragging on and on and on, we'll do it in 3 separate sections or 2 separate sections. And the reason for it's going to take a long time is because I want you to understand the background and you're not to think that it's just a fad, because it's not just a fad. It really does work, and it's absolutely 100%. So first of all, what I want to talk to you about is when you're actually throwing your darts. Now, I had a chap contact me, and he said, how do you breathe when you're throwing your darts? So this is the first bit, and again, it comes all down to logic. I have a friend that I play darts with every Sunday, and he's an ex-military guy, that's all I'm going to say about it, and he's an ex-marksman. And when we first started playing darts, and obviously like you do, if you're like me, you can't help but interfere. The way that he was throwing the darts, he was throwing the darts with all his body. He was throwing them with his arms, his legs, his feet, his toes, everything. And I said to him, I said, listen, I said, think about it. I said, when you are firing your rifle in a standing position, do you do it, if you're marksmaning, so in other words, hitting a very small target at a long distance, do you do that while you're running or jumping up and down? So he said to me, well, no. I said, so why are you throwing the darts why are you jumping up and down while you're throwing the darts? You want to be accurate. You want to be hitting a very, very small target at a distance, because that's what darts is. It's hitting a target with a dart at a distance. So he said, do you know something? He said, you're right. He said, I've never even thought of it like that. So I said to him, I said, well, do me a favour. I said, don't change the way that you throw your darts for now. Just stand still. I said, just stand still. Take a breath in, like you do on your firing range, a breath out, and at the end of that breath, as you feel the calmness descend, throw the arrow. And that transformed his game in a matter of about less than 5 minutes. I'd say 4 or 5 visits to the board. He got the hang of it, and it made a huge difference to his game. I give him he has an handicap, which I do. I don't mean an handicap as in he's got a bad leg or something like that. I give him an handicap. Most people that I play on a regular basis, or sometimes even when I go into the pub and I play them for a fiver or a tenner, what I'll do is I'll play 5-1, they play 3-1. And it's very rare I ever lose any money, but this Sunday just gone was the first time he ever beat me. And that was because of the tips that I'm giving him and what have you. He's adopting them slowly because he only gets to play once a week. He hasn't got a dartboard at home, so he has to take his time with it, and it's just once a week when he plays. But over the months, it is actually making a difference to him, and his playing is just getting better and better and better. So the first one is, when you throw in the darts, when you come to the hockey, and this is all about the breathing, and you'll see it'll all tie in together. When you actually start doing it, this will all tie in together for you. What you do is, as you step up to the hockey, and you've seen me, as I put my foot on the hockey, I look down, and as I look down, I take a breath in. So I look down, breathe in, and as I'm bringing my head up to look at the board, and you've seen me do it, as my head comes up and my eyes start to focus in on the board, then the breath goes out, as the arm comes up, and the first arrow goes at the end of the breath. Depending on the speed of what they throw, I mean, I throw relatively, not slowly, but relatively slowly. So what I tend to do is I tend to take a short, so a stammered breath between each arrow. Because if you were trying to take a full breath, that would mean that you'd probably end up hyperventilating and fall over. And you don't want to be doing that. And especially if you throw as fast as Michael Van Gerwen, I think by the time you'd played the leg, you'd be dead. Right, so anyway, less of the joking. But, like I say, and I'll tell you about what I call the stammered, staggered or short breath later on, probably in the next video. But it'll all tie in. If you watch the videos, the 1, 2 or 3 videos what I make, you'll understand then what it means by they'll tie in. So once you've watched all 3 of them, you'll be able to watch the other ones back and think to yourself, yeah, that's exactly what he meant. So the first one is you're breathing as you come to the board. So that's your first one, fundamental, is breathing. As you get to the board, like I say, I come up to the hockey. As I'm bringing my head up to look at the board, I exhale, breathe in. Right, so as you're going, as you're looking down at the hockey, a lot of the time is when I take my first breath in, I look up and I breathe out as my arm comes up, like that. And as my breath finishes, is when I deliver my first arrow. Then I'll take a short breath between as I pull the other dart out. It's out at the end of that breath as everything goes calm, and this is something that will come to you. As everything goes calm and still, the arrow leaves your hand. And again, you take the third dart out, it's a short breath, the breath comes out, and as you stop breathing, the arrow goes. So that is the first video. Hopefully this has given you the background for it, so the next one won't have half as much waffle in it. But I do think it's important that you get the background of it. So thanks for watching Darts Coaching with Dynamite Dave, and this is the first one on the breathing series. All right, so thanks for watching Darts Coaching with Dynamite Dave, and don't forget, lads and lasses, always, 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 totally hockey.